everybody, it's that time again, episode 8, I believe. We may stop with the whole announcing what episode this is, because I'm going to start losing track here. But I am Michael McGregor with Sensible Living Podcast and Blog, SLPB. What's today's topic? How about the fantasy of bugging out? My God! Everyone's going to bug out with 1,000 rounds of ammo, 35 rifles, 600-pound bug-out bag. And, okay, wait a second here. That might not work out for you. Even the military doesn't go out with that much. They have a battle pack. And that's for, that's for a firefight. Hopefully that's not lasting 5 days. There's usually a supply. There's usually a resupply. So let's have a little sensible conversation here. So your bug out plan. First of all, a lot of you need to start focusing on what your bug out plan is. My God. Zombies, EMP zombie nuclear super volcano attack with martial law. What? Don't forget the North Koreans are coming. Last time I bugged out, that's right, I haven't yet. I didn't have to worry about martial law being put up in my town, Denver. Well, I'm Inglewood, actually. Haven't seen that close down. I have bugged in. I have. 3 times. Twice because of a blizzard, and once because we were having severe blackouts, and that was the 90s, I think. I mean, it was a long time ago. It might have been early 2000. California was having some issues, and it was causing, things to, we were having blackouts here, and they were lasting a couple hours. And, let me tell you something. Yeah, I got to hop on this because, we got idiots on the road. Yep. We'll edit that as always. So, I bugged in weather event. I'm not in a high firefight or forest fire area, so I've never had an emergency evacuation, never had to deal with a chemical situation of chemicals being dumped. Now, I do live fairly close to a rail line, and if they were going through with some nasty chemicals and the train derailed, I might have a mandatory evacuation. Mandatory evacuation. Do I need 1,000 rounds of ammo for each one of my 35 guns as I flee for my evacuation? No, I don't. Come on. Think about this. What I do need is some cash on hand, maybe some food to get me by, because I don't know where I'm evacuating to. Maybe I'm just going to the little relief shelter. Probably won't do it. Most likely, I'll hop in my vehicle with my bug-out backpack that has some clothes, some basic shelters just in case, all that stuff. But I got, my electronics, my power batteries, stuff like that. Because, you know what? If I have a mandatory evacuation, I'm going to bring some editing. I'm going to bring some entertainment with me. Granted, I'll probably film some live stuff from it and talk about that. So I have my basic fire kit, my shelter kit, my water kit, my first aid kit. I don't go anywhere without a first aid kit. You're going to find that out about me quite a bit, and I do suggest you should have a IFAC, and you should also have some sort of emergency medical EMT bag, even if it's just for up to 5 people. The one I carry I could probably sustain probably 5 people, a good solid 5 people. In that situation with tourniquets and everything. So always have your first aid kit. I always keep cash. I have an emergency supply of cash of 5s, 10s, 20s, stuff like that, just in case I can't get to an ATM. If there's a blackout, I might not be able to go pull out something out of the ATM. I got to have cash on hand. Next town over might still have power. I can buy something cash. Don't really worry too much about, having alcohol and cigarettes to barter with. We're not at that stage for my bug out. But, my get home bag, same thing. A lot of you are sitting there and you are planning way too much stuff that you're not going to use. And the thing is, you're not even practicing a bug out. Guess what? Last weekend, we did a mock bug out. We went up there. Now, granted, I had a lot of comforts with me. Because guess what? I'm not bugging out. But my shelter system was my bug out system. And that was in my bug out bag. I grabbed that, boom, set that up. I was raring to go, fully sheltered in under 10 minutes. But I also use a hammock system for my bug out shelter system. Did I have part of my 16-pound, my little 16-pound bag, my little get in, get out bag? Yes, I did. Did I set that stuff up? No, I did not. I thought about it, but I didn't. I didn't want to go do too much over the week because it was about relaxation. So I just did my normal bug out stuff. Did I have some rifles? Yeah, I had some rifles. I had a 30-30 with me, lever action. I had my 45 caliber sidearm with me. I popped off a few rounds. We set up some targets. Boom, boom, boom. That was pretty good. Let me tell you something. That 30-30 is a tack driver. God, I love that gun. That one, that's a nice rifle. No, I'm not running around with an AR. That my bug out situation, that's for hunting. That's for food gathering. Self-defense if needed. I tell you something, someone gets whopped with a 30-30, that kind of puts a damper in their, means of doing you harm. Same with my 45, and I don't, my handgun is to get me to my rifle. It's that simple. That's that philosophy right there. And maybe we'll talk about that on a special episode where I have a guest. Maybe we'll do a campfire type thing. But mock bug out, went up there, back roads, way out. You ain't getting a car up there, I can tell you that much. And we set up our shelters. And lo and behold, severe thunderstorms hit. So what did we do? We had our wood all gathered. As soon as we got there, our shelter was designed. Boom, shelter was up immediately. Boom, water was brought in. We did not gather water. However, here's something interesting. My shelter system is set up that when it rains, each corner of my tarp will collect water. I collect rainwater. And we ended up collecting, over that rainstorm, 2 corners, the amount of rain came down, 4 liters of water. It's not too bad, 4 liters of water. We ended up throwing that through the water purifier and all that. And whoops, sorry about that. We did that through the water purifier, and that was fantastic. Nice tasting water. The purifier we use is pretty heavy duty. That one will actually get rid of viruses. So that one, we're going to try to do a review on that one because that one's just phenomenal. Sorry, I digress. But we were up, and let's see, storms rolled in within about 3 hours of arriving there, and they lasted for a good 4 hours, and then boom, cleared up. Rained a little bit through the night, but you know what? We had our shelter set up. We had our wood covered, so our wood was dry. Our fire was going as the storms rolled in, so we didn't have to worry about too much. The fire kept going throughout the entire storm. As the rain came in, we stocked it up good and got that fire really going. We didn't lose it. Wood was dry. Waited till the rain passed. We ate our food. I had a ribeye and mashed potatoes. That was my idea of bugging out. I brought food with me. Why not? I'm not worried about hunting squirrels or rabbits at that time. We had stuff. So, it's all good. We had, we brought up our initial food. Good buddy of mine, he had, assholes and lips, dogs. Breakfast was breakfast burritos, Make your mock bug out somewhat enjoyable. It doesn't have to be, this is survival. So, be practical with your bug outs. I mean, seriously, really be practical. You know, you don't need 35 different rifles. You know, let me tell you something. Your dream of taking on the National Guard, the U.S. Army as an individual, you're going to be taking on the thing as, an individual going after, the U.S. military and the National Guard like you're Rambo or playing Call of Duty. Wake up. It's not happening. You're not going to lone wolf it. Plain and simple, you're not. I hope you have a community. I hope you have people in your group, because you're not going to lone wolf it. And don't even start with that, well, I'm going to be a scavenger and I'm going to take other people's stuff. I'm going to tell you something. If that's your attitude, if you're going to be a scavenger and you're planning on stealing other people, other than the fact that you are a person with a paper asshole and you're just blowing, crap out of your ass, because my question to you is, why aren't you doing it now? What's stopping you now if you're that big of a badass? So you're pretty much a man with a paper asshole. And if you are a person that actually is doing that now, you're just a shitbag. Plain and simple, you're a shitbag. You're not going to be a fucking scavenger. You're just not. So stop with the, I'm this guy, I'm a scavenger. Okay, whatever. You've been watching too many movies. Because you're going to roll up on a community, you're going to try to scavenger them, they're going to put you down, they're going to ghost you. Get your community. Work with them. People will feed, if you got doctors in your group, you got military. The military guys can protect your population in your community. Your doctors will heal those that are sick. The gardeners, you need people of different traits for your bug out. That's a reality, is setting up a community. Also think 1 acre of land per person in your community. So if you got 200 people, you want at least 200 acres minimum. These are things. That's your practical bug out. Being a lone wolf going after, the so-called, the martial law, we're taking out individually. Red Dawn Wolverines! You're going to take out the National Guard. And come on. First of all, the United States military does not have enough personnel in every single branch and all parts of the National Guard to put a person on every single street corner in the U.S. Yeah, they might lock down a city, but also think this. They're not going to send people from California to lock down California cities. You're asking people in the Guard to go up against their own families. Not going to happen. They'll have to send the California Guard to Utah to California, and you're going to go into little itty-bitty rural America? No, you're not. Intelligence gathering, if they start talking about curfews and stuff, and it's not just going to happen overnight. They're going to have warnings, so your intelligence gathering comes in. So pay attention to these bug outs. The only bug out that's going to hit like wildfire is a forest fire, a flood, a chemical spill, where they're going to show up and go, get out, you got to move now. And that's it for today. We're going to continue this probably tomorrow. So the realities of bugging out are a lot more less glamorous than you think they are. So with that, I'm out. You have a great day.